So how's things? How's the Brian household? Have you had a good Christmas?
Had quite a nice Christmas. Of course, like most people, it's been an unusual one. We've had to maintain social distancing, all those kind of things. But nevertheless, on the whole, it's gone well so far.
So that's good. Staying safe and keeping yourself locked away, which is, I think, the message, isn't it?
Always stay safe, keep your distance, wash your hands, and generally obey the rules, and then hopefully we can get through this all together.
And how are you dealing with the boredom level? Because of course you're not out and about going to site and so on, and you're looking for your next project. So how are you dealing with that?
It is driving me absolutely up the wall. In the early stages of COVID, I had little projects that you meaning to get round to, haven't got round to, things like my workshop lights. You may remember they were all fluorescent lights that were beginning to fail. And I replaced those with LED 600 panel lights. They've been a complete success. And little jobs dried up. And then there's daytime television.
Yeah, that's never good, is it? And I understand that you've been through your entire boredom. You've gone ahead and started investing in that 18-volt Makita platform. Is what drove you to do that?
Absolute boredom and retail therapy.
Yes, the retail therapy
arrived. I'm pleased enough with it. Not obviously had an opportunity to use it. It sat in the bag that I had it delivered in. Pure retail therapy, but I've broken my duck and I'm into 18-volt Makita.
I can't see the point of the 40-volt XTG, is it? I can't see the point. It seems, like the tools really aren't that much better, but yet they're twice the price, and it's another battery to look at, and I don't understand why you'd and the number of tools is quite limited at the minute. I don't know why you'd get involved with that. What are your thoughts?
Well, at the level of interest and usage that I put to things, which is more than the average DIYer, I can't see the benefit. But if I were a frame erector and it was annoying me how many times I'm having to recharge my batteries, or I'm wanting to use ever more powerful tools on site, then I can see that there might be a benefit. With that benefit comes weight. So at the moment, I'm thinking you've got to be a young man to use that stuff.
Yeah, I can't see the point at the minute. Well, look, before we start diving off into a bit of a review on what we've done on the channel this year, I'd like to sort of thank everybody for helping us support the channel by subscribing. If you've not subscribed already, it's down here somewhere. And of course, if you hit the bell, you can get notifications when new videos come out. But I think, this year we've achieved more subscribers than we have in any other year. During this pandemic year, that's really nice that people have helped and supported what is effectively a hobby for the pair of us. So thanks very much, everybody, for doing that.
Type of daytime television watching for my compatriots out there who equally have locked up.
Yeah, that's true. Well, look, I thought it'd be fun just to have a little bit of a sort of a think and a review about some of the tools that we did manage to review this year. Obviously, it wasn't as many as we've had in previous years. And I was thinking about what might be our top 5, and I struggled to get to 5 that I thought were really very strong. But I have got a list of 5 in mind. I wonder if they're the same. What would you say your number 5 is at this point?
Well, The interesting thing about our reviews this year is having acquired and bought the tools. The interesting thing has been they've not had as much use as they're meant to have. But interestingly enough, I thought one of the most interesting tools was the Zoc 1 laser level, which I actually thought was good value, performed well, neat, small. It's about time, if you haven't got a laser level, a laser measuring device, you ought to have got one, and that was a jolly good choice, I reckon.
Yeah, I've been using that sort of quite a lot recently, and the green laser compared to the red laser has been, really so much clearer to see. It's so much brighter. The only little niggle that I've found with that particular device, and it's resolved now, is it had been sort of reporting that it was sort of not leveled. It was out of its leveling range, if you like, which is, and the way it shows that is it flashes intermittently to say that this isn't quite level. And to fix that, I just gave it a bit of a shake, and that sort of brought it back to working, as you'd expect. But I think it is good value for money, and you can only really imagine that those are going to get cheaper and cheaper. As a kit, I think it was quite a good device. All right, so that's your number 5. I'd actually put that as probably my number 2 or number 3, actually. But okay, so that was your number 5. What about your number 4?
Well, that might have been the heavy-duty Makita 18-volt drill. In my world, it wasn't for me, in the sense that it had a lot of torque, a lot of drive. It was the top end of the range in that sort of range of 18-volt drills. But nevertheless, its power used in the right application, I think, was exceptional. That having been said, you can see that my 18-volt purchase, or you won't have seen it, but my 18-volt purchase Makita drill was a much less powerful one, and that is because I've never actually burnt out yet a battery drill of any sort.
I have.
But that having been said, when it drives through material in the way that one does, you can see that you're never going to have the opportunity of burning one out, and it's going to last some time. All metal construction, gearbox, all that sort of thing. It's a real work tool.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it a bit more since we did that quick video, and I'm really pleased that I went and got that, actually, because it really is an enabler. Whereas some items, some holes were in an awkward position, or you think, oh crikey, I'm gonna have to really put some weight behind that, which could be dangerous. Actually, the fact that this thing's got all the right power and the right handles in the right places and so on, it did actually make that job nice and safe and quick. And it doesn't stop you from drilling holes where you need them. So that was, I would have again put that as a little bit higher. I would have put that as my number 2, but that's probably because I've had more use out of it.
I think that's the point. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what was, I was calling out what your number 4 was. What's your number 3?
I'm fading because I can't remember what number 1, 2, and 3 are.
Well, for me, I've certainly had a lot of use out of my Makita blower. I don't know about your Bosch one, but that Makita blower has been awfully useful in so many ways. Apart from anything, blowing up that airbed that I've had to use, that's inflates that thing in seconds, which is really good. And just for keeping the site clean and tidy in some ways, using it like a leaf blower but indoors has been quite good.
My Bosch one as a leaf blower, because I got out the big Flymo job, strapped it round my neck, went walking off with that. Encountered all the usual problems of having to put the extension lead on and so on. I put it down, went and got the my version of that, which is the Bosch one, and that was, if anything, much easier to use. You could get much more direction if you were to use it for blowing leaves around. But more importantly, when I'm in the workshop and I've covered myself in dust, then I do want to blow myself down, tend to start up the compressor. But now, of course, just use the little air blower. And
yeah, I must admit I've used an air blower to just try and get some dust off, but
enough tool.
That could do with having a shorter nozzle. It's like
it could have a stubby, couldn't it?
It's a bit long.
Yeah, because when you want to turn it round and point it at your body, you've got to have long arms.
Yeah, exactly, like Mr. Tickle.
Yes.
This would be my number 5, but I think probably you've forgotten about this, so you might reorder. But my number 5 was the CH Hansen Chalk Hog, which is, it's a simple chalk line, but given the different chalk lines that that there are in the workshop, this is certainly the best one that we've got between us. And only a tenner is a bit of a no-brainer if you haven't got one. In truth, it's not professional grade. It's not made out of metal. It won't take all of the knocks and bangs that you might have on a professional trade site, but it's certainly the sort of higher end of prosumer, sort of the enthusiastic DIYer.
I'm impressed that you want to work to a straight line now and again.
What was that?
I'm impressed that you want to work to a straight line now and again.
Oh, thank you. So, are we of the opinion that the number 1 tool, which was a bit of a sleeper, actually ends up being that 12-volt Makita Torch?
Well, the 12-volt Makita Torch was good, and I got one for Christmas myself. This Christmas, didn't get many Christmas presents, but that was one of the ones that I did get that fitted into my DIY category. Didn't get any socks this year, which is perhaps a bonus. But I did get my Makita Torch, and that's going to be quite useful when I get back into action again. And so I think at the beginning, you said I'm looking for my next project, and I am. But projects take so much time to get set up. I should have started 6 months ago.
Yeah, so I found that Makita Torch really was far more useful than it looks like. I mean, again, it's another sort of fairly inexpensive item. I ended up buying myself a second one. In your
comment about the fact that it didn't have a magnet, and the magnet accessory was almost as much as the torch, and I'm surprised that Makita marketed it in that way, really.
Well, I would pretty much think if I have a good look on eBay or somewhere like that, because it's got a camera mount screw on it, that I would find a magnet with that screw thread on it, and then that's that problem solved. But for me, the reason why this, apart from the fact that it's a good work light, it's adjustable, it throws out a good bright light. The main thing is really around the batteries. If you've got any number of the 12-volt batteries, you could be working away, it's getting dark, you want to just get some, throw some light on, the last job of the day. I mean, really, you shouldn't be working in the dark anyway, but if you just want to just get a little bit of light on a job just as you're finishing up, or if you're working in a tight space or whatever, the fact that you've got the ability to have charged up batteries and as many of them as you've got tools for, etc., is very handy. And of course, as you're working with drills, impact drivers, that sort of thing, obviously the batteries will run down to 1 bar, and you think, well, what am I going to do with that? You can just put it on the torch, and that'll run for another couple of hours. Whereas your impact driver won't. You get a couple of hours out of your torch, and
brings a new meaning to what you just introduced there. Working in the dark, I always thought that was not knowing what you were doing.
Yes.
Sorry.
We should be really. All right, look, I think that's really all I wanted to sort of, go through. So I really just leave it to you, Brian, to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. And if you actually acted on any of our videos and bought any of the tools, do let us know. It would be good. But in the meantime, thank you again for watching Budget with Guy. Thank you again. Have a good New Year. And don't forget, you subscribe, hit the bell, watch us on YouTube. I was going to say Skype there for a moment. That's what we're talking on at the moment. Or Instagram or
Facebook, Twitter.
Got it.
I think even with a script, I don't think you'll ever get that right.
Possibly not.
But anyway, you stay safe, and
thank you.
We'll make some more videos.
Stay safe too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.